I'm on the way to get gas. And I thought, why not hooligan it just a little bit? And see if this microphone works for jack. Like, I've tested it in my car, but it's a very different thing in a car than a motorcycle. Man, I chose a bad time to do this. And you didn't change your oil often enough. Testing out the vlogging setup. As you can see, I need gas, but I'm not gonna get gas here at any of these uber convenient gas stations. No, no, no. That would make far too much sense. Now, what I'm gonna do is drive like 5 or 6 miles down the road. I'm going to a gas station where they do gasoline with no ethanol added. Because I'm curious if there'll be any difference, you know, whatsoever. I guess we'll find out. Or I will, you might not. See, look at how much room there is here. I could easily fit between each and every one of these cars, been at the front of the line, taken off, been gone by now. But despite the fact that we have humongous ass roads with plenty of fucking room for safe lane splitting. Lane splitting is not legal here. I think it should be legal. And that's not only because I'm a motorcyclist who doesn't like getting stuck in traffic. That's also because I really do think it's safer, because if I'm legally allowed to lane split, then when some asshole isn't paying attention and, you know, comes right up behind me, I'm in between all these cars. They act as fucking bumpers. I got nothing to worry about, because he's not gonna hit me. He's gonna hit a big ass cage with its crumple zones and its seat belts. Oh, that sucks. But, I mean, that's my point right there. When that happens, I don't want to be anywhere fucking near it. Lol, people actually doing the speed limit. I'm getting bored. That's bad. I haven't been on this bike in 3 weeks and I'm getting bored. I blame the red Jeep. It's all the Jeep's fault. Totally all the Jeep's fault. Every speck of everything ever. All the Jeep. Every tiny little thing ever. Maybe the Ultima a little bit, but mostly the Jeep, because he doesn't have a rear bumper. So I was talking to somebody last night, and they were talking about how they didn't even want to put a camera on their helmet. They were just going to put one on the bars. But my thing is, if you put a helmet on your bars, then you don't really have any idea where the rider is looking. I mean, yeah, I could be looking straight ahead where my bars are basically pointed, but on the other hand, I could be looking at that Nissan. I could be looking at that semi right there. Or I could be looking right there past that stop sign, because there's usually a cop. Now, there's very little character when you put your camera on your bars. And the reason I say that is because I've done it. It was lackluster, to say the least. Yeah, it's just, there's no character to it. It's just sitting on your bars, especially when you're going really slow and your bars are twitching a little bit. You know, that doesn't make you a bad rider, but damn if it doesn't make you seem like a noob when your camera is mounted to it. But yeah, I did it once, and I don't like it. I actually quite like this view. No, it gives you a good view of my arms. It's fairly stable and like level with my head, you know, with where I'm looking. I really feel like it gives you the best compromise. How much of me and the bike you see versus how much of the road ahead you see. While my eyes are 8 inches higher than this camera and set back, you know, 6 inches or something like that, I also have a much larger field of view. And, you know, my eyes are moving constantly, so I'm looking at all kinds of stuff, you know, waiting for somebody to pop out and try and kill me. Whereas you guys, you're just watching a video that's sitting still on a screen, you know, and a picture's changing every once in a while. So at the very least, I would think that you'd want, you know, a speedometer or at least a tach to look at. 361 a gallon. It's alright though. We'll see how Hikaru likes this. Ah, fuck. That's right. It's not just supermotos that can be that. Just, oops, I messed up. Better take the sidewalk. What I think is funny about this kind of thing is that you're definitely not capable of knowing yourself if there is or isn't ethanol in this product. So, I mean, you're really just guessing. And you're hoping that they're right, and you're assuming. But there's really not jack shit you can do if you get ripped off here. Don't get me wrong, I'd much rather trust the people than not trust them. And I have no doubts that they are being truthful. But that's really all based on faith. I hope somebody ends up behind me or this is going to be a fucking long-ass light. Pro tip, whether you're in a car or on a motorcycle, look up at the traffic lights. Especially if you put your shit in neutral, look at the lights. That way, you know when you need to get it off the kickstand before it's absolutely necessary to get it off the kickstand. Just in case you've never seen a public library before, you're welcome. I have another silly little pro tip on how to ride, and it's pretty simple. When your hands are on the bars, even under braking, at no point whatsoever should your elbows be locked, because if the elbow's locked, then your handlebars can't move without your input, and your bike can't do its job to keep itself upright. If you let the bike do its thing, it'll try its very, very best to stay upright. Only when at a stop should your elbows ever come close to locking. Any other time, you should be able to, exactly how you're gripping the bars, even though my arms look like they're fairly straight, I can still twist. As long as you can twist both arms at the same time, as long as you can do that, then you know your shoulders aren't locked, your wrists aren't locked, and your elbows aren't locked. And that is the goal. When people freeze up, that's what happens, is those joints, or some of those joints, lock up. And then any little tiny body movement that they make gets transferred right into the bars, which gets transferred into the whole bike, which gets, you transferred abruptly to the ground. If there is one thing to remember when on a motorcycle, it is stay loose. Let not thy nerves get the better of thee. I don't know what that used to be, but it doesn't look very happy. It's so nice out here. I still don't know how to pronounce his name, but I believe it's Drinkum. D-R-I-E-N-K-M, Drinkum. But I was telling him, he's out in, I think, Montana, and it's just, so flat you can see the curve of the earth with these big-ass mountains in the background. And I was like, it's almost like a way flatter, Tennessee. But, regardless, Yeah, I really do like the scenery in Tennessee. Hi there, this is a corner. I was not expecting that corner. I was like, oh shit. Move, bird. Thank you. But yeah, Tennessee is pretty. It really is. I mean, look at the sky. All this friggin' green. And the weather is nice enough. You know, we got seasons. We get a little tiny bit of snow. But usually, you know, the trees don't completely brown out and turn to nothing. So you got at least a little bit of green all year round. Yeah, this would be fun at about 60. Yeah, there's more scenic places, especially depending on your favorite color palette. But, I mean, it's hard not to at least somewhat enjoy the view here. I'm gonna give this light like 45 seconds to pick me up, and then it's getting run. Why? Because it's legal to do that in this state. If a light won't pick you up, you can legally run it. I have a video on it. Check it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna pick me up. And there are no cars coming to trip this light. So, oh, there we go. Now there's a car. Damn it, I was gonna run the light. You suck, car. Oh, I missed third. How do you miss third gear?